So the first thing that you want to do is to create the inventory. The basis of this whole system is the fact that, yeah, go into Edit Ledger Info. Again, on homepage means that it goes onto the student's homepage, right? Everything else you can leave as is.
What's all the PayPal? That's if
Yeah,
something
no.
costs something.
The basis of this particular system is an actual purchasing system. So it's not a sign-up system. It was initially designed to be an inventory and stock and purchasing type of application. So we've modified it so that it becomes something for class selection.
Got it.
Okay, so don't worry about any of the other stuff, right? You may want to change that to your email address, and as well as here, because
What's
what will happen?
madcaps.com?
That is the original programmer for our site, Steve Capps. What you will see in your email is a flood of order. You'll be copied on all the order confirmations, so that you know who's. You can do a check off on who's signed up and who hasn't. So go ahead and scroll up. Since you made those changes, hit Save Changes. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, it just brings you back into this list. You can go. You can scroll down and go back into items. Okay. So.
Oh, and this is where their write-ups are.
This is where the write-ups are. There's some minor HTML, just a bracket, BR bracket for line breaks. That's the only thing that you need to know in order to make it quote, look good.
Okay.
Okay. It's just two breaks right there just means a a line space.
Okay.
A break in the space. So here's where you put the title. Here's where you put the write-up, and down below down on this write-up you have the course, typically the teacher, right? If you have a location, you can put the location, but otherwise it's just an instructor. Okay. Sort order. Sort order just drives how what class shows up first. Okay. Typically, you want to do sort orders by increments of 10, so that way you can insert things that might come up later. So, for example, 10 would be the first entry here. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see 20 was over here, right? But then here's a 15, discrete mathematics. Well, this was a late entry. So what they did was they down below, when you add in a new entry, just keep on going down below. See, you add in a new entry, and you say, well, you know what? I want discrete mathematics to go up rather than down, because otherwise, if you don't put anything in the sort order, it's whatever was entered first gets placed in first. Okay, so if you want a specific sort order, a specific order in terms of how things are displayed, that's where you use the sort order. So you do increments of 10 so that you can insert one at 15, and then if you had another insert, it would be at sort order 13 or something like that. So it just allows you to put in an entry in between something else. Okay.
So when that makes total sense. Yeah. So when we do this for the spring, are we just going to delete all of these and then?
No, you're just going to write over it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's easier that way, right?
Yeah.
Right? And then you might change the sort order on this one to 20 and then change the subsequent ones to 30, 40, 50. And then, so that way, you have a template that you can work from.
Okay.
Okay? So the other thing is price and cost is always $0, right? Extra means how many people, what's the maximum for that class. So if it's 15, so the system will not cut people off once the class is full. Okay. Instead, it will just keep track of, say, okay, you've got 20 signups out of 15. So then when you're balancing the choices, you'll know which classes are over and which ones are under.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's just you know, a optim a it is a desired count for that class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then this is the options prompt indicate
Right.
choice rank, and then they have to have 5 choices. So it's separated by semicolons.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to see how it looks, you can always click on sample order. Okay, and that's how it looks. So if there's any mistake or whatnot, you can go back and you can correct it. The things to watch out for are making sure that you have semicolons and that you have 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you want to go back to items, you can go back to
1,
items.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, there are like 8 choices, but they need to give 5.
Yeah, got it.
Typically, the school says, you typically get your first choice, but sometimes you won't.
Mm-hmm.
You get your second choice.
So once this is added, like new things, save
Yeah.
changes, and
Save
then
changes, okay. Then all you have to do then
Just
is
go
go back here, right? Go to this page, go up. You're going to check that
Oh, right,
box,
on home.
okay. But before you check that box, you're going to clear all transactions, and because this is a ledger, it saves history of who signed up with what,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this pass for the fall, when they did this initially,
Mm-hmm.
it still has the transactional data
Mhm.
of who selected what.
Mm-hmm.
And clicking this clear all transactions means that you're clearing the slate for a new set of historic selections.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to keep new history now. I'm not going to keep any of the old history or
Right.
have any of that old stuff. I have to clear that first. So that first, and then there, when you're done.
And then, do they get an email that says,
You're going to have
Sign
to
up?
send the email and just say,
Okay.
look at your homepage. You'll see the link that says sign up for.
got it, okay.
They have to do 2 selections, one for block A and then the other
Mhm.
for block B.
And then how do I see it?
So yeah, how do you see it? So you go back into scroll up a little bit to your homepage. You have to kind of see that. Yeah. So once they've made their selections, if you scroll down, you go to balanced choices. This is where your work begins.
Mhm.
So after X date and time, you'll see you'll see this. This is the old one. Okay, that's what we haven't cleared the transactions. Once we click on that button, all this information is gone. So we see the first class and their choices, right? In active photography, remember that this is the extra, right?
Right.
There's an over subscription to this particular class. 16 students sign up for it. Typically, you only want 15.
And so
right?
they're
So-
only showing the people that showed 2, showed number 1.
Showed 1.
Yeah.
Showed number 1. Okay, and these actually turned out to be the people in the class. They accepted
out.
16, right? They talked with a faculty member and said, "Hey, can you accept one more? Sure, why not?"
Right.
Meanwhile, like economics has got 27, right? So that one required some shifting around. Not all 27 students are in economics.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So how do we see 2?
So-
their second choice.
Uh-huh. So if you click on Dylan,
Oh, that makes sense.
his second choice was discrete mathematics.
Interesting.
Okay. This 0 here just means that was his first choice. If you click on that and you click on another one, you'll actually move him from economics
Oh,
to
that's cool.
the other class,
Yeah.
right? And then
Got it.
then it moves Dylan into discrete mathematics, and then when you click on discrete mathematics, you see 1, 1, 1, 1, and then you see a number 2, and that's Dylan,
Mm-hmm.
right? He is now in discrete mathematics.
So how
but
come
it's a
here
second
we're
choice.
seeing
Because
all 27?
I don't think Jennifer used this post selection.
So she uses it as a selection and then did it by hand.
She did it by hand.
Okay,
Right,
cool.
yeah, but the system allows you to just move people back and forth, and then all you had to do was just copy and paste the names into a list.
But then that's not populating our schedule. That's
No.
something else.
Yeah,
Can you export this to a Can you
just
export?
copy and paste into. Yeah, there's
Just drag
currently
down?
no. Yeah,
Okay.
there's currently no export.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So let me go back. So that was. That seems pretty easy to do.
Yeah, just move people,
That, where was that?
balance choices.
Balance.
So you're balancing the choices between classes. And what you would do is you would give that list to, I guess, Jessica, and if she's the one doing all the data entry for the schedules, for the schedule piece,
And then that's then going into that.
the classes, and creating the schedules and so forth. And
Okay.
adding the students, right?
And then what
So-
about creating a new one for
Yeah.
intercession?
You need a new one for intercession. So let me do that right now.
And this is going to be sort of weird because
Why is that?
well, I wish that would be more helpful if I knew more about this. So our intercession looks like this. There's like these morning blocks and then afternoon blocks, and most of the courses you're signing up for like the morning block for week 1. Some of the courses you have to sign up for both the morning and the afternoon is one course. And for some courses you're signing up just for like a day.
Let me take a look at that.
So like if this is the first week, for example, there's one theater workshop that has all of these blocks. And then there's 1 or 2 courses that are these blocks, and 1 or 2 courses that are these blocks. And then there are a couple like special lectures where someone's coming and speaking just here or just here. And we don't know those yet.
How many weeks is intercession?
2 weeks.
About this. Sorry, I'm trying to think through this because I'm trying to see how that would actually work. Because, okay, let me see if I'll build it first and then see if this will work. Because I'm not sure. No problem.
Jess. Nice. Good. So I'm leaving soon.
Yeah.
Is everything? Alright, cool.
I haven't seen you all week. That's great. I've been here, but I've been here.
Yeah.
Have fun on your trip.
How about? Team is to go park.
Oh, you're going on. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
What time's your flight?
1:30.
Let's see if this will work. Not sure if it will.
Oh, wow. Okay. So stock inventory.
Let's see. So, got 2 weeks. You have conceivably morning only. You have afternoon only. You
Both.
have all day
And one.
and one day.
Yeah.
we can handle morning only, we can handle afternoon only, we can handle all day.
Well, so if it's a 1 day thing, let's say that I'm taking class B that's in the afternoon, and 1 day Robert Sapolsky's speaking here, and I really want to do that. So if I'm taking this class on basket weaving, I would click number 1 on basket weaving. Maybe I click number 2 on basket weaving, but number 1 on Robert Sapolsky. So then I would put the kid into basket weaving, but then also in Sapolsky, so they miss a day, and that's I think the
Yeah, so we can handle both. It's 2 weeks, but it's week 1, 2. Oh, the way it would look on there. They would have to do for you to get the best data, they would have to do, we'd have to create 5 of them. Because basically if they want an all day one, let's see.
And I think there's only one all day one, and that's only in week 1.
That's only week 1.
Mm-hmm. I think you still want that.
You stand that. It's just too much data. There's always going to be a different morning section and a different afternoon section. There's going to be morning, afternoon. Reduce to how many selections in the morning?
Not many. I don't know.
Is it more than 5 or less than 5?
I don't know.
Okay, and the reason why I'm asking is because we have it hard coded that they have to make 5 choices. So if it's less than 5, we need to know ahead of time so that we can program it and reduce the
I mean,
number to
if we're talking about
required number to 3 or something. That's why. Because I don't want, I mean, there are only 5 choices. I don't, they have to rank each one,
right.
right? But if there are 4 choices only, that's where we get into
Problem.
problems because they have to make 5. The system requires them to make 5 choices.
Mm-hmm.
So, but basically they would do a selection for week 1 in the morning, week 2 in the afternoon, week 2 in the morning, week 2 in the afternoon. Then they have to do another section for 1 day only.
Mm-hmm.
So, now, and then in this 1 day we have to reduce it, reduce the required amount to 1. Because they may only want 1 day, one day period.
Could we just put the 1 day in?
All depends on how many there are.
Yeah, and this is all still question marks.
Yeah. So you could put it in here, but then what happens is that you can only in these balanced choices you can only place them into 1 class.
Right.
You can't place them into that 1 day.
Got it.
Right.
Got it. Yeah.
Because when you're balancing choices, they go into their third pick, let's say, right? And then that's it, they're done. The system thinks that they're done for that morning period.
Mhm.
And then you move on to the afternoon one, you figure out who
Mhm.
should be there. And the one-day ones, I think, are just, because it's outside of this whole realm here,
Mhm.
it's just trying to figure out who's interested in
Mhm.
attending these one-day sessions, or these one-off sessions. And then you'll just say, okay, you know, here's a list of folks for Robert Sapolsky. You know, you'll just be absent on that 1 week period. Make sense?
Yeah. So I'm sending Kate an email saying, because she's in charge of sort of like the
Kate.
Kate Block, but she's in charge of scheduling when people are doing things. And she gave a presentation to the faculty a couple days ago explaining what's happening and asking us for feedback, but also acknowledging that there's still a lot of moving pieces. So I'm seeing if she can meet early next week so that we can figure out more details.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll set up these 4, and I'll reduce these to 3.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
These 4 sections to 3, and then this one day, just say, we'll reduce it to 1. I don't know how many intersections you'll have. Go to the restroom.
Okay. So, Jess, you're talking about So I just emailed Kate, see if she and I could meet early next week. We're going to meet her tomorrow. The things that we need to know are, we've got the one going in the afternoon, how many offerings are there for each, and then how many of those are Monday afternoon, right?
Do you want to send an email and just copy me on it and Mark, and then I can bring that
on both. They have to choose it on both